Archidoxis Magica, Paracelsus.
All right, so get this. Today, we're going deep diving into 16th century alchemy and magic.
Oh, wow.
With Paracelsus's Archidoxia Magica.
Right.
You've brought some really fascinating excerpts.
Yeah.
Now, I know what you might be thinking, right? Like, magic, whoa, isn't that a bit out there?
Sure, yeah.
But trust me, this is about so much more than just spells, potions, all that kind of stuff.
It certainly is. Think of it this way. Paracelsus wasn't just a magician. He was a physician, an alchemist, a radical thinker, really. Challenged the very foundations of medicine, back in his time.
Right.
His work, including Archidoxia Magica, gives us this incredible window into the Renaissance mindset, a time when, honestly, the lines between science and magic were wonderfully blurry.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So set the stage for us.
Yeah.
Who was Paracelsus, and what made him such a revolutionary figure?
Paracelsus was, he was a man of contradictions.
Okay.
Which is part of what makes him so fascinating to study.
Right.
And he was deeply religious, but he challenged the authority of, traditional medical texts. He believed in the power of observation and experimentation, yet he also embraced the idea that the divine was woven into the very fabric of nature.
So he wasn't content with simply accepting the dogma, right, of the time. He wanted to test those boundaries to see where faith and natural philosophy intercepted.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's where his alchemy comes in.
Okay.
Paracelsus believed that God's power wasn't confined to the heavens, but was also present within the natural world, specifically within substances like metals. Right?
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Metals. We're talking about things like gold, silver, having some sort of divine power.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
Paracelsus didn't see metals as inert substances, right?
Right.
He believed they possessed this hidden life force or essence that could influence health and healing. That wasn't exactly a new concept. I mean, vitalist theories, the idea that living things were animated by this special force, had existed for centuries.
Yeah.
But Paracelsus took it a step further. He was applying it to the realm of metals and minerals.
So instead of just being materials for crafting, he saw them as almost being alive.
Right, yeah.
Imbued with a kind of energy that could be harnessed. It almost sounds like early energy medicine in a way.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a fascinating parallel, isn't it? And it highlights how Paracelsus was really looking at the world through this different lens,
Right.
Seeking connections between the seen and unseen. Take his approach to treating epilepsy, for example.
Okay. How did his theories about metals play into something as complex as epilepsy?
So Paracelsus meticulously documented this process for crafting a gold and silver lamella, basically a small plate engraved with specific characters. During a seizure, this lamella was applied to the patient's shaved head.
So he's combining the supposed power of these metals with engravings.
Right.
Was he thinking along the lines of, ancient talismans, objects imbued with protective or healing powers?
There's certainly a connection there. Remember, Paracelsus was drawing on centuries of tradition?
Yeah.
Incorporating elements of astrology, herbalism, even, folk magic into his practice. But there's another layer to this that's crucial to understanding his methods.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
Timing.
Yes.
It wasn't enough to just have the right ingredients.
Right.
He had to create these remedies under specific astrological conditions.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
Paracelsus believed that the position of the stars and planets at the exact moment of creation significantly impacted a formula's potency. It wasn't just superstition, right? Astrology was a cornerstone of Renaissance science, shaping everything from medicine to agriculture.
So he was meticulous about capturing the celestial influences, right? The right alignment of the cosmos to enhance the power of these remedies. It's such a different way of thinking about healing than we have today. So intertwined with the movements of the planets and stars.
Exactly. And to truly grasp the depth of his astrological beliefs, we need to look no further than his instructions for crafting a simple horse bridle.
Hold on. A horse bridle?
Yeah.
As in something you'd use to control a horse?
Right.
What could that possibly have to do with alchemy or astrology?
Paracelsus believed that by adorning a bridle with carefully crafted tin, silver and gold plates, each engraved with, specific characters during specific planetary hours. One could enhance a horse's strength and even extend its lifespan.
So he's essentially creating an astrologically tuned, super-powered bridle. That's both fascinating and a bit out there, even for Paracelsus.
It might seem that way to us now, but it demonstrates how deeply he believed in the interconnectedness of all things, the celestial, the terrestrial, the human, and even the animal.
Right.
And it's a recurring theme throughout Archidoxis Magica.
Yeah. It's like he saw magic as this unifying force, this unseen web connecting everything in the universe.
Right.
It's a really intriguing concept, even if some of the applications seem a bit far-fetched to modern sensibilities.
Of course, yeah.
But tell me, did he reserve these practices solely for, human and animal well-being, or did he delve into other applications as well?
Oh, Paracelsus's curiosity knew no bounds. He explored a range of applications, from enhancing vitality to even attempting to influence human perception, knowledge itself.
Yeah.
Okay,
now you're really piquing my curiosity. We're talking about influencing how people think and what they know. That's venturing into some pretty powerful territory. Tell me more about this. What exactly did he have in mind?
Paracelsus, he delved into practices that were aimed at expanding awareness and accessing hidden knowledge. And perhaps the most intriguing example of this is his concept of the constellation of the mirror.
Constellation of the mirror, that sounds incredibly evocative, like something out of a myth. What did he have in mind?
Imagine this. 3 magical mirrors, each crafted from a precise blend of 7 metals and meticulously polished during specific planetary alignments.
Okay.
Paracelsus believed these mirrors could grant the viewer access to extraordinary knowledge.
Oh.
Almost like looking into the past.
So not your average looking glass, then. These were more like scrying mirrors, tools for divination revealing hidden truths.
Exactly. Paracelsus describes each mirror as having a unique purpose. The first, he claimed, could reveal images of people, events, even battles from the past, as if they were unfolding in that very moment.
Wow, so almost like a window into history, a way to witness events that have long since passed. Did he believe these mirrors could access any point in the past, or were there limitations?
That's a key point. While Paracelsus clearly believed in the power of these mirrors, he was adamant that they couldn't penetrate the veil of the future. They were about illuminating what had already transpired.
Okay.
Bringing to light events that were hidden, lost, or perhaps, deliberately obscured.
Interesting. So less about fortune-telling and more about uncovering lost knowledge, hidden histories, almost like a magical archive of the past. What about the other mirrors? What secrets were they meant to reveal?
The second mirror, it was all about words.
Okay.
Paracelsus wrote that it could reveal conversations, speeches, even written documents from the past, along with the context in which they were created.
That's amazing. Imagine the possibilities, being able to hear the speeches of emperors, eavesdrop on the debates of ancient philosophers, or even uncover, lost literary masterpieces. The historical implications are staggering.
It is a tantalizing concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
To access those lost voices, those whispers of history that would otherwise be gone forever. And then there's the third mirror.
Okay.
Perhaps the most intriguing of all. Paracelsus believed it could reveal the knowledge contained within, books, writings, even those long lost or deliberately concealed from the world.
We're talking about a mirror that unlocks the secrets of forbidden texts, ancient wisdom that's been hidden away for centuries. That's some next level stuff. Did Paracelsus ever claim to have created these mirrors himself, or were they more theoretical constructs?
That's the fascinating thing. While he describes the crafting process in meticulous detail, specifying everything from the astrological timing and types of metals to the significance of the lunar phases, there's no evidence that he ever successfully created these mirrors.
So maybe they were more aspirational than actual, representing the pinnacle of what he believed alchemy could achieve, this quest for knowledge, this desire to illuminate the hidden corners of history and consciousness. But it does make me wonder, even if he could have created them, wouldn't that be a risk? Uncovering certain knowledge, accessing certain memories or events, perhaps some things are best left buried, undisturbed?
It's a timeless question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line between seeking knowledge and potentially, unleashing chaos.
Right.
It's a question that's more relevant than ever in our current age of information overload and rapid technological advancement. But before we spiral too far down that rabbit hole,
right,
let's return to Paracelsus and his work. While these mirrors represent a more esoteric aspect of his practice, he also documented a range of formulas and remedies aimed at more practical everyday concerns.
Right, like when we touched on his theories about treating epilepsy using metals and astrology. It's such a fascinating juxtaposition, this blend of the mystical and the practical.
Precisely. And that's what made Paracelsus so compelling. He straddled these worlds, drawing upon ancient wisdom and folklore, while also pushing the boundaries of what was considered possible through, observation, experimentation, and a deep reverence for the natural world.
So he wasn't just about, concocting magical cures or peering into mystical mirrors. He was also trying to alleviate suffering, to address the very real health concerns of his time, using the knowledge and methods available to him.
Right.
However unconventional they may seem to us now.
Absolutely. And some of those methods, while seemingly outlandish at first glance, actually offer these intriguing glimpses into the development of, modern medicine and science.
Right.
Take his fascination with electrum, for instance.
Electrum?
Yeah.
That his potent blend of 7 metals, right? Didn't he believe it had all sorts of protective and healing properties?
Yes. He considered electrum superior to any single metal, outlining its uses in everything from, crafting goblets that could supposedly neutralize poison to creating amulets that would ward off illness.
Yeah.
Now, while those applications might make us chuckle today, consider this. Paracelsus was recognizing that combining metals could yield properties more potent than the individual elements alone.
And that's something we now take for granted in material science. Look at steel, for instance.
Right.
It's far stronger and more durable than iron alone. So in a way, Paracelsus was ahead of his time, recognizing the potential of alloys, even if he didn't have the scientific framework to fully articulate it.
That's precisely it.
Yeah.
He was recognizing these patterns, these synergies within the natural world, and attempting to harness them for healing and protection.
Right.
And that desire to understand and influence the natural world, even if through methods we now consider unconventional, it's a testament to his enduring legacy.
It's like we're seeing the seeds of modern science beginning to sprout.
Yeah.
Even if they're intertwined with a belief system that we might find unfamiliar or even fantastical today.
Sure, yeah.
But speaking of those seemingly fantastical remedies, you mentioned that Paracelsus documented formulas for a wide range of ailments. Did any of these address more common health concerns, or were they all focused on these grand, almost mythical afflictions?
Oh yeah, Archidoxis Magica. It often reads like a fantastical grimoire,
right,
filled with these elaborate formulas and rituals. But Paracelsus, he wasn't above addressing more kind of mundane ailments. For example, he outlines this intriguing approach to treating the common cold.
Okay, now that's something I think we can all relate to, even centuries later. No mystical mirrors needed to understand the misery of a stuffy nose and a sore throat. So what was his secret weapon against the sniffles? Did he recommend a concoction of rare herbs gathered under a full moon?
Interestingly enough, he turned to a more readily available source, the humble onion.
Okay.
Yeah, Paracelsus, he believed in the power of everyday ingredients, writing that a poultice made from cooked onions, honey, and a touch of vinegar applied to the chest could help relieve congestion and ease breathing.
Huh. So kind of like an early version of a vapor rub.
Yeah.
I have to admit that's not nearly as outlandish as some of his other remedies.
Right.
It makes me wonder, did he make a distinction between the treatment of these everyday ailments and those grander pursuits, like attempting to cure epilepsy or enhance vitality, or did he see it all as part of the same spectrum?
That's a question worth considering, On the one hand, he clearly believed in the power of celestial alignments and meticulously crafted talismans, right?
Right.
But on the other, he also saw this inherent value in simple natural remedies, often drawing upon, traditional folk practices. Perhaps for Paracelsus, it wasn't about separating the mundane from the magical, but recognizing the interconnectedness of it all, that the divine, that vital force flowed through everything from the stars in the sky to the onions in your pantry.
That's a really intriguing way to look at it.
Yeah.
It's like he was trying to bridge those worlds,
Yeah.
to find the points of connection between the celestial and the terrestrial,
Right.
the mystical and the everyday.
Yeah.
It's a very different way of understanding the world than we typically do today.
Precisely. And while we might not be brewing up Paracelsus's onion poultice anytime soon, there's a certain poetry to his approach, this belief that even the simplest things in nature hold a kind of hidden power, a resonance with something greater than themselves.
It's about recognizing that there's still a sense of wonder to be found in the natural world, even if we try to explain it all through the lens of modern science.
Exactly. And that sense of wonder, that willingness to explore the unknown, even if it means, challenging established norms.
Right.
Or embracing, seemingly outlandish ideas. It's at the heart of what made Paracelsus such an influential figure.
Right.
He dared to look beyond the accepted truths of his time, to seek deeper meaning in the patterns of nature, the language of symbols and the movements of the cosmos.
He reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge, the quest to unravel the mysteries of the universe is an ongoing journey full of unexpected twists, turns, and perhaps even a little bit of magic along the way. And on that note, dear listener, we leave you with this. In a world increasingly driven by data and technology, what wonders might we uncover if we allowed ourselves to embrace a bit of that Paracelsian spirit, to look beyond the purely rational and embrace the unknown with a renewed sense of curiosity and wonder?